and welcome to this episode of Startups of London. Today, I'm with Gianluca from WellSim Biomedical and very excited to hear about his story and what's going on. So can you start with telling us about your journey, your world before the company and before the accelerator?
Yeah, so my journey before the accelerator was, working as a director of product marketing at a small local biotech here in the Bay Area. And, we had some common friends with the founders of, the initial founders of WellSim Biomedical Technologies from Stanford University. And, I was able to meet Fei Liu and Yu Chao Chen. And on the first meeting, I really wasn't that impressed about us being able to work together because I just felt that the problem was very far away from actually being a commercial solution in the market. And so initially, I was
what is the problem before we go further? Can you describe the problem itself?
Well, the problem itself was that the science was very, very strong. The technical aspects of the technology were really, really strong, but I think the positioning and finding the right market product fit was, I think, the hardest thing to kind of solve and figure out. And I think what the team lacked was someone that could bring a business perspective, commercialization perspective, marketing perspective. And I think when I joined the company, I think the company kind of started taking off from there. But, technically very strong, just at the early stages, finding that right, killer application that we could really focus on.
So what's at the very core model of the company? What's the core problem that you're solving? And perhaps with that, why of the business?
So WellSim developed this core technology based on ultrafiltration. And we use ultrafiltration to isolate and purify nanoparticles. And these nanoparticles can be anything from small vesicles that are released from cells called extracellular vesicles, and the smaller versions of this particle called exosomes. And these exosomes are very powerful molecules because they can actually communicate between cells. And people used to think they were trash bins, but now we know that they're very important and they're released early during cancer progression. And being able to isolate these particles is very, very difficult. They range between 30 nanometers and 150 nanometers. So they're very, very small and they're intermixed into various biofluids such as plasma, urine, and saliva. And one of those issues is being able to isolate and concentrate and purify those exosomes effectively. And I think that's what we're good at doing at WellSim.
That's fantastic. So what was it that pushed you towards the decision of joining a bigger organization, Accelerator, in this case, Illumina?
Well, interestingly is that I used to be an employee at Lumina 10 years ago. And I started out with the commercialization of their first FDA platform called the Beat Express. And I launched it back in 2010. And I've been working with systems, consumables, tests in the diagnostic space for 20 years. So it was a logical progression to use Illumina. We used Illumina for a lot of our key applications in cancer diagnostics, where we isolate exosomes from urine and we try to detect for bladder cancer. And we were using next generation sequencing and transcriptomic analysis to help us as a solution downstream. So the Lumina Accelerator was a ideal solution for that.
That's great. So your journey so far, what were some of the notable moments, events, people, or obstacles in the light of what you have experienced there?
Well, this pandemic for SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19 has really changed the whole dynamic of our company. We applied to the Lumina Accelerator with the prospect of developing the next generation bladder cancer test from urine. And, this great opportunity for developing a SARS-CoV-2 test came up, and the government needs rapid testing solutions. And we saw that the SARS-CoV-2 virus is approximately the same size as the exosomes we typically isolated. And we've been focusing on isolating exosomes since 2017. And so we're really, really good at isolating exosomes. I said, well, what if we just applied our technology to isolate this SARS-CoV-2 virus and start progressing into that space? And what we realized that when we're still in the garage, we're sheltered in place, where Yucha was in the garage, I told Yucha, can you run a quick experiment, see if you can isolate this virus? And on the first attempt, we got incredible results. We submitted to the NIH and a program called the RADx, and we were able to get accepted within 5 days, and which is really amazing that they've helped us so far. And we've been able to raise $500,000 to develop a point-of-care platform in 15 minutes from saliva. So really innovative approach for COVID testing. But the problem that we faced, and what Illumina Accelerator really helped us, is that we didn't have a facility for testing the virus before we got into the Illumina Accelerator. And luckily, the Illumina is actually developing a COVID test and has developed and launched an EUA test into the market. And so they had facilities that we could use to actually do the clinical testing on site. And so we were really grateful that Amanda and the rest of the team, and Courtney and everybody from the safety team helped us out, and we were able to draft the protocol that we would use and actually get the testing done in a timely fashion. So very grateful for that.
So what was the most difficult decision that you've observed, either you yourself have made or seen the other partners for the business so far?
It's one of the difficult decisions I would say was that, making a pivot when you realize that you have a market opportunity, and making a pivot temporarily to fulfill a need in the market that was needed. And we're still very passionate about oncology and oncology testing and liquid biopsy testing, but we were able to regroup and focus on COVID testing. We know that this is a short-term focus, but in the end, it actually helps the development of our core technology. And we feel that was a difficult decision to make, but I think the right decision to make.
So my final question, what has this difficult decision revealed about the character of your business? And perhaps looking at the future, what do you see the next challenge for you?
I think that what we learned the most is that, one of the best thing about being a startup company is that you can pivot and change and adjust to market situation on a dime. And I think that was an advantage. But the disadvantage is, and the biggest challenge of a startup, is not having the resources to execute on the ideas as quickly as we would like to. And what I feel that the Accelerator was able to give us was those additional resources from business, from marketing, from a scientific perspective that we did not have, and help us help us make some critical decisions that would help us accelerate and move forward quickly.
Thank you very much for sharing your insights and your story with us, Gianluca. It's been a pleasure to hear about your company. As a final note, is there anything you'd like to share? So for people tuning into this, is there a website you would like them to visit if they would like to find more about you, or like a social media profile that you recommend they follow? Or how can they stay in touch with you?
Yes, you can definitely, you can always link into me if you want to learn about me and our company. You can just easily look for my name, Gianluca Roma. But, we have a website, www.wellsimbiotech.com. And you can see how we progress over time and see all the different applications that we use our core technology for. And we're very excited to be able to use our technologies to solve problems in diagnostics and potentially even therapeutics using exosomes. So we're really excited to be part of the Illumina Accelerator.
You're definitely tackling very big problems. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Scientific rigor and some luck, perhaps. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm global head of Illumina Accelerator. We're a company creation engine focused on building genomics-driven startups. We have 2 locations, one in the San Francisco Bay Area and one in Cambridge, UK. And at Illumina, our mission is to unlock the power of the genome to improve human health. And we know we can't do it alone. So over the past 6 years, we've been partnering with entrepreneurs across the globe to unlock the power of the genome, to help the entrepreneurs and the startups build genomics-driven companies in the therapeutic space, in diagnostics, in synthetic biology, and direct-to-consumer software, research tools, applications. We've really been able to work with entrepreneurs to kind of push the boundaries of where genomics can go.
Hey, I'm Anya, and I'm the head of Illumina Accelerator Cambridge. So entrepreneurs, we're on the hunt to find the best genomic startups across the globe. What we're looking for is raw talent. We provide access to capital, sequencing credits, coaching, as well as access to state-of-the-art lab facilities. Apply now, as we can't wait to meet you and help you accelerate your company.